Coming up, batting drills by professional cricketer Hassan Azad. Let's go.
The first one is your top hand drills, so you're making sure that your hand is behind the bat, and if you can zoom in there, you want to be able to control the bat face with your top hand. Nice and simple. Have your hand, ball out in front of you, bat go behind, and then you pick out an area of where you want the ball to go. For now, I'm going to say I'm going to try and hit the stumps or mid-on. If it goes slightly either way, I'm not too worried. But say I'm trying to hit the stumps and it goes to mid-wicket, then I know I'm in trouble. Let's see how this goes. I haven't done these in a long time. So I want to hit mid-off. Trying to get a little bit tougher, trying to hit extra cover. Hit mid-wicket. The key thing with this drill, as you would have seen, it makes you really turn your whole body and turn your shoulders. You know, for example, if I want to hit extra cover, I can't just do it from here because, you know, I can't really do that. My hands don't work that way. My hands aren't strong enough, so you have to turn your whole body, and you end up pointing your shoulders and your forearms in the direction that you want your ball to go. Something that sometimes gets neglected though are bottom hand drills. And like we said before, if you are a bottom hand dominant player, you can do all the top hand drills you like, but when you hold your bat, if your bottom hand is actually the one that's controlling it, then you'll end up not really improving very much. So if you are a bottom handed player, or anyone in general, bottom hand drills are really good because they make you do the same thing with your bottom hand. So with these bottom hand drills, we use the analogy of a bowling ball. So imagine you're going 10-pin bowling. You have your bat out behind you, and you want to extend through the ball with your bottom hand like you would when you're bowling. So I'm going to try and hit mid-off again. This is a lot harder with bottom hand drills, but let's see how this goes. If you have been trying to hit mid-off and the ball is going to mid-on, and you do your top hand drills and they're fine, you're hitting the ball where you want it to, and you do your bottom hand drills and you end up hitting the ball through mid-on when you're trying to hit mid-off, then you know that that's where the problem is. So it's kind of a nice little diagnostic exercise. So same as with the top hand drills, you go round the clock. I'd say extra cover, mid-off, and you do the same through mid-on and mid-wicket. The top hand. I'm going to try and hit through mid-on. Extra cover. Through mid-on. So if you're balanced, when you've played your shot, you should be in a stable position. Sometimes what happens is, and I think you will recognize this, my coach used to call it out every time I did it. He used to call it the tripod. So if you're not balanced, say your head is falling over, then you play your shot, and that back foot comes around, so that you've essentially got your bat, your foot, and your other foot, and that's called the tripod, and that's a position that you really don't want to get into. Ideally, when you've played your shot in your final position, you should be so stable that if someone was to push you, they shouldn't be able to push you over. So if I get Neel to give me a hand, say if you're balanced, then you should be in a good position. Whereas if I'm here, Neel, if you give me a little push, that back foot comes around, and that's not really what you want to see happen. A good drill to check for balance is having some quick throws. So this is something that I like to do before every game. So on game days, the first thing I start with is I get someone to take a bunch of balls come really close to me, go from round the wicket but wide of the crease, come really close and try and hit me on the pad consecutively. So throwing balls in quick succession. And the idea is that if I'm not balanced, then I won't be able to, I'll play the first one okay, and then after that, it gets more and more difficult. But if I'm balanced and I'm in a good position, then I can go one after the other because I don't have to move. So I'll get Neel to demonstrate. Lovely. So the first thing you would have noticed, as soon as my balance was off, I had to take a little step to rebalance. And as soon as I did that, the next one that I hit went off somewhere where I didn't want it to go, and I didn't find the middle of the bat. And then that throws your whole thing off. So that's a good way to tell whether you're doing the drill right or not. When I was balanced, I was there, and then I was ready for the next ball straight away. And that's a good way to sort of not just check for balance, but to practice being balanced as well. So the sweep shot is a wonderful shot to have in your armory because it's the shot that you play to the spinner's best ball. It's the shot played to the one that's just sort of dragging you forward. It's the length that the spinner actually wants to bowl. So if you can hit the spinner's best ball for 4 or use it to get off strike or whatever you want to do, it can make a spinner's life very difficult. The way to practice the sweep shot from the basics up is to, it's a super simple drill. Essentially, you start in your ready position. Like we said before, you want to be in a position where your front knee is able to go over your foot so that your foot doesn't actually get in the way of your bat. And then you want to be able to get your head nice and forward, get some extension, but really it's about presenting the full face of the bat and getting fast hands through the ball to be able to put pace on it. And that's really all it is. So I'll get Neel to throw me some balls. It's going to be rapid fire, relatively slow, but in quick succession. We're just going to try and hit volume of balls. There we go. That's why. So once you've done that a few times and you're comfortable that you're hitting the ball where you want to, from down there, you can take it a step further and actually start from a wide base. So, and then you're dropping your knees, going down, and then still going at the ball. Really important that when you drop your knees, it doesn't take your head back with it like this. You want to still be able to go at the ball and go towards the ball rather than dropping your weight back. A bit lower. And then finally, we can play from standing. So in your stance, go out and meet the ball. Key points with this one, I think what I've seen from over the years playing it and coaching it, the biggest mistake that people tend to make is because they don't want to get hit on the head, they get the wrong side of the ball. So If the ball's on this line, they end up trying to go that side of it and trying to catch up. So one drill that I've used before with kids and under 15s is which I think is really suitable and really helpful for anyone, is to try and get over the fear of being hit. So you take a bunch of tennis balls and really you put your bat aside, you put your helmet on, you try and hit the ball with your head and actually try and head it. And that gets you really good at getting your head in position and getting your head in line and not being afraid of getting hit on the head. Ultimately, sweep shot, with playing the sweep shot, there's a good chance you might get hit on the head, but that's the risk you're taking. And if you play it well, then you won't.